I don't think I've ever used the words Leica and action camera in the same sentence before. For years, there has been one big name in action cameras and then a few other brands that either have the same take or a slightly different take on action cameras. Leica asked me if I wanted to try the Insta360 1R 1-inch edition co-engineered with Leica. Of course I said yes. A 5.3K action camera with a 1-inch sensor, and they included a couple of camera modules because this action camera is modular. Let's unpack this. Leica partnered on an action camera. There's a 1-inch sensor involved and it's modular. I'm not gonna lie, I went into a little bit of overload as I was unpacking the box. I mean, there's a 360 module. Let me make one thing clear. I do get on my road and mountain bikes. I do a lot of running and hiking. I try to be outdoors as much as possible, but I don't have a wingsuit. Though I did jump out of an airplane once many years ago. Sorry, Mom. But I don't think of myself as any sort of extreme athlete. And I think with some exceptions, many of you would fit into my same category. And if that's the case, what's the fuss with action cameras? Let me interrupt to remind members to check out the member feature this week. In this week's members only video, I am discussing photography in and of the snow, settings I use, thoughts on composition, and even editing. There is a link in the description to that video. Also, members, the long-form landscapes photography course is going live later this month. If you are interested in becoming a member to support this channel and to see all of the members-only videos, the long-form courses, the ebooks, and more, there is a link in the description to learn more about channel membership. But for now, back to the video. What's the fuss with action cameras? For one, they're highly portable and simple to use. And even if you are just out for a peaceful bike ride with some cool scenery, they're very good at capturing the experience without keeping you busy working with a camera. What Raymond and I have enjoyed about action cameras over the years is that in many cases, the action camera is the most convenient or practical camera to have with you, along with maybe your phone. But in this small form factor that's designed to be attached to other things, and then quite often left on its own to do its job. An additional use of action cameras that has evolved in recent years is B-roll. Action cameras are designed for action, so if you need to get some sweet B-roll, whether it's land, air, or sea, an action camera is an affordable way to get some of that second unit footage without first unit pricing. And for many people who vlog, action cameras have become a very valuable option, or even the exclusive choice of people who make videos out in the wild. Next, 1-inch sensor cameras have been among our favorites. We had not one, but two Nikon V1 cameras, and we have a Sony ZV-1 whose 1-inch sensor allows for great portability while delivering much better results than the tiny sensors in cell phones and other super compact arrangements. So what if we could have both the super portability, weather resistance, and the 1-inch sensor, while still offering some other recent action camera trends, like 360-degree video, and in a package that is easy to pack and easy to use. 5.3K 30, 4K 60, or 1080p 120 frames per second for video. 19 megapixel stills with footage that won't fall apart in low light because of the larger size of the sensor compared to your phone and most action cameras. And you have Leica's name and reputation going into the optics. I'm not suggesting that this should be your only camera, but I will say that you have a lot of quality in a small package for fast action or vlogging or even still images and time lapses. We even used a star lapse preset in the camera for some dark sky photography, which is something normally reserved for our full frame mirrorless cameras. As far as stabilization goes, we are super picky, as GoPro has taken in-camera stabilization to an extreme, almost surreal level. As other reviewers and I have found, the Insta360 stabilization with the Leica mod is very good. Not quite to the extent that GoPro is, but not bad either. In a minute, I will talk about how we used most of what you're seeing here with only a slight change to go next level on our stabilization. As far as the Leica 1-inch mod goes, for the majority of our action video and for our vlogging, our still images, and our general B-roll, it delivered in a way that we expected, taking into account Insta360's experience in this market and Leica's ability to craft hardware that delivers great images. But when Leica shipped this to us, there was a surprise in the box, an additional camera mod that goes along with the same components. And this one has lenses on both sides. The same camera with a different lens mod is a full 360-degree camera. We had never used one of these before, although we had been on the cusp of purchasing one on several occasions. Now it was in our hands, and it was something completely new for us to explore. So what did we do with it? We did what we normally do. We hiked and biked, we ran, and we used a part that we ordered to even connect the 360-degree setup to one of our drones. Anytime you're working with a drone, especially when maybe going outside of what you are supposed to do with a drone, like we did when we hung an action camera from ours, be ridiculously careful. Rural areas good, urban areas bad. And I will say that working with the 1-inch sensor was superb and exceeded our expectations. And adding 360 capability to that in the same package with a mod swap, this is very nearly action camera bliss. Yes, the stabilization when using the 1-inch sensor mod isn't top of the line, but it is very good. And that doesn't even matter when doing 360-degree video, which has to be seen to be believed. And really, it's hard to show it to you here in the way that it's intended. Though the YouTube phone app actually lets you move your phone around to observe an entire 360-degree video with full freedom to use your phone or tablet as a lens into the 360-degree footage. We'll link to a video below with some of the highlights of our 360-degree work, and if you do open that footage in the YouTube app on your phone or your tablet, you can physically move your phone around to experience the footage from all different perspectives. We found it addicting, even with fairly mundane footage. One thing we also enjoyed about the quality of the 360-degree footage from this camera was using either the computer software or phone and tablet apps to crop and compose later on. So one case for 360 is to publish all 360 degrees like we showed you a moment ago. Another case is to use the 360-degree footage and the software to then add pans and tracking later on, even if it's different than how you originally intended to use the footage. The software makes it easy to highlight an object and then have the software compose your final video to track that object through the frame. Imagine if you are at a skate park, skaters all around, and then later you could compose the video to track one particular skater around the park, even though when you captured the footage, you were just in the middle of the action, directing the camera in no particular direction. Raymond really dove into this and was making 3 or 4 different edits from the same 360-degree video, all with a different purpose and point of view. It truly is an entirely new perspective on how you can capture and author action video, A-roll and B-roll. The modular design of the camera allows for some different battery and camera options and updates and upgrades that may be released in the future. It's a system that you can keep very simple or add the modules of your choosing so that it evolves toward the way that you personally want to use it the most. There's even a module option for some more serious video uses that allows for an external microphone of your choice, but the camera can also directly pair with AirPods, which is also very cool. There's quite a lot going on here if you really get into it, and because it's all modular, you can customize the setup for any given situation. The only downside that we could possibly find from the modular nature is that the screen module is smaller than many action cameras because of the modular nature and the unit's ability to accommodate a 360-degree camera module. But with that disadvantage, and again, modularity, you can use that module in either direction. So the screen can be front-facing or rear-facing. I found that connecting the Insta360 app was easy, and that's actually how I preferred to make settings changes on the rare occasion that I wanted to change settings. To bring this home, when we agreed to review this camera, we thought that it would be fairly straightforward. We use action cameras often and have reviewed various options before. What we got was much more flexibility than we expected. Very high quality video, images, and time lapses from the Leica 1-inch mod. And with the 360 mod, a very thorough introduction into the amazing world of 360-degree videography. In fact, one of the toughest parts of this review was calling it done, because we kept thinking of more places and situations to bring this small but flexible setup. It's time for your comments and your questions. What do you use? And have you wanted to do more, like 360-degree video, or maybe get higher quality cinematography from a small action camera like the Leica mod delivers? Let me know down in the comments. We have this baby in the lab, so although we certainly haven't covered all of the features today, because there's a lot, we do have it handy for any specific questions that you would like for us to address. I will also add a link to it in the description. It is an Amazon link, and I am an affiliate, so anytime you use those links to get to Amazon and make any purchase, you are helping my channel a little bit. So please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I make videos on all sorts of photography topics every week. And thank you for watching.